Hello, I'm Jean Pete, and I welcome you back to our show, Better Living. Better Living is brought to you by the Homestead Hope Foundation and is sponsored by Homestead Hospice, where commitment to education and premier hospice care helps patients and families through life's most important journey. Thank you for joining me again this week. I do say it every week, but I am again very pleased to have our guest this week. We are privileged to have Dejuan Mathis Miller with Heartbeat Matchmaker, Headhunter for the Heart. And she is with us today after being with Robin Meade from Headline News Morning Express, right, Dejuan?
That's it.
I'm so privileged to have you today. I cannot wait to talk to the audience and the seniors and all of their loved ones today about all things related to creating loving and lasting relationships. We're going to give tips for dating if you're a senior or otherwise. So whether you're a senior or not, we have a great show in store for you. Do not change the channel. And again, I tell you every week, I'm blessed to be here, and thank you for listening once again. So Dejuan, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
It's so good to see you.
I know. I'm so glad to see you too. I always have a good time with you.
Thanks for coming. So let's talk today about you first and how you got involved in this and who you are. Let the audiences love you as much as I do.
Oh, thank you, sweetheart. Well, I think I have this innate desire to make everybody in the world happy. And we all know that love drives that. So I try to bring everybody together to otherwise would not find the other person, and for them to be able to fall in love and have a committed lifelong happily ever after.
And even if they have already fallen in love.
Exactly. They can do it again. It's more than one time.
Absolutely.
Well, you see that for sure. But I was a private investigator for many years, and then I moved from that to director of marketing for a real estate attorney, same law firm. And I've always been matching people up. I was bringing people into, each and every business or career choice that I've made, I've always been bringing two people together. And the attorney that I worked for said, hey, you're so good at this. Why not make a business out of it? So about 5 years ago, boom, it was born. And we've been going wild and crazy because everybody wants to be in love.
Absolutely. And keep love.
Yes.
And I can't wait to talk to you today about building the foundation for that kind of a loving relationship. Because I think it's easier if you start it right.
Yes.
Okay, so we have so much to talk about. Again, I'm so excited to have you here. So you are based in Atlanta.
Yes, but I have clients all over the United States, but the majority of my clients are Georgia, yes.
And congratulations again on your interview with Robin Meade. Big deal, big time. I'm so happy to have you here on Better Living, but you were on Headline News.
I know. Well, we were giving
Express.
tips for online dating and what not to do, what to do. And, it's all be careful. It's dangerous out there. The web is much more dangerous than meeting someone in person.
Well, let's talk about that because, what y'all might not know is I did go through a divorce a few years back, and Dejuan was one of my first interviews when I started on the radio. And of course, that last show, I don't even think I could listen to it again because it was masked around everything you seniors need to know, but I had more questions than anybody could ask. So here we are, fast forward a few years later, and I've navigated through the world of getting back out there after decades of not being out there. And there's just so much to fear. And there's so much of uncharted territory, and it is so scary. And especially, I can't imagine for a senior who maybe it's been 40 years, the whole landscape is different. So you mentioned online dating. Let's go right into the heart of it. Let's talk about online dating. This is so new.
I know. Well, there's so many popular ones right now. And again, you have to do your due diligence. You check everybody out, whoever you talk to. Everybody looks good on paper. Everybody looks good on the web. You don't know that you are actually meeting the person that actually shows you a picture on the front. You don't know if they actually is the occupation or if they make the income or if they are truly divorced. I tell everybody, do your due diligence. Go down to the courthouse. Find out where you can. But the difference between online dating and hiring a professional, and this is what I am really, really good at, and our team, we have a great team that works great together, is that we check all the facts. We make sure that they are emotionally available because that being the key. What if you're dating a serial dater and not knowing that? That's from an online dating. Because
there are a lot of serial daters online dating.
Well, if you can go on there and browse years later. I've been in Atlanta about 8 years. There are people that I met when I came here that are still on Match.com. And that's scary. And then there's a couple of them that are on there that said they haven't found the one. Well, then go get professional. They said, well, they can't afford a matchmaker. Well, I tell everybody, if you've done online dating 6 months, you can afford a matchmaker. Think of all the times that you're spending on the computer. Our time is valuable. Number one commodity that we have. 2, think about if you're excited about meeting someone, what's the first thing as women that we do?
We're going to go out and buy new clothes.
Exactly.
Get our hair done.
Fingernails, you name it. The whole works. So, and then to be disappointed, there's many of those bad dates or friendships that don't turn into committed relationships. So there's a lot about online dating, and that's for everybody, whether you're young, elderly, senior citizens, whatever. Do your due diligence. You should be checking out who you're talking to on the phone. And especially, not just on the phone, but on the internet, especially if you're starting to fall for them.
Yeah. And, I have friends being in my mid-40s, and a lot of people, this does seem to be the age where if people are going to get divorced, they're divorced and they're heading out there again for the first time. And most of my friends are female. And I don't know if it happens to men too. I'm sure it does, but I feel like it'd be more prevalent with the females. They meet these men and they start to talk with them, and they might meet them 1 or 2 or 3 times, and they start to fall for them, but they are exactly as you said, serial daters who've probably been on there for a very long time, and it's an easy way to get a woman. And I guess that's my assumption is it happens more with men.
Yes.
So how do you identify whether you're talking to a serial dater or not?
Well,
how do you protect yourself from falling for someone like that?
Find out who their friends are, for one. You got to know who they run with. That shows who the person is, and basically of their personality and their values, more or less. And you can kind of keep from that, and especially if you meet any family members. But if it's 1, 2, or 3 dates, I tell everybody, by the 3rd date, you should know if you really like a person or not. And then you move forward with that person and that person alone. If you're out there just trying to get your feet wet, then, date a couple of different people at a time. That's perfectly fine. I definitely don't say go sleep around. But my thing about it is we're about committed relationships. So what it is that you're looking for, if you've got a lot of time to invest in this, it's like picking a needle out of a haystack. Actually, a needle out of a haystack of haystacks of a mile long. So you have to, really sift through them. We cut down on that time and effort. We do all of the background. We do the facts. And based on whatever interview that we do with you, it's a one-on-one interview with me. I key on what you're looking for and what you want, whether it's, to get your feet wet, recently widowed, recently divorced, or you just want to get back out into the dating scene. Online dating's okay for that. Do I think it's okay for a committed relationship? It's very rare that people find it. And you may get your heart broke 1 or 2 times. Is your heart worth being broke? Why not just zero in and get the one that you want?
Yeah, good advice. I never did well with online dating.
We talked about
I was too skeptical. I was too afraid. I felt like it was too easy. I was too vulnerable. I guess I have to be in too much control to handle something
Different
like online dating. But it is good. I do see some friends where they don't do as well. Of course, I have a radio show, so right. I'm very personable. I'll talk to anybody, and so it's not hard for me to meet people.
It's meeting the right one, though.
Some people aren't like that, and so the online dating thing, sometimes I say, well, why don't you just get your feet wet? Exactly. And it helps them enter back. So there is a good place for online dating.
There's a few people that have actually come out and had great relationships out of it. I'm not knocking that, but it's very time consuming, and you could also get your heart broken in the meantime before you find the right one.
Yeah.
But that's in any part of life.
And I guess what I'm trying to say is it's probably a phase in your journey to get back out there, not really where you're going to more often than not find your true love.
I tell everyone that online dating, it's great to get out there and interact with other people, but it is a tool. Remember, it's a tool. It's part of the tool in your shed that you have to go and put something together, and that is a relationship. So don't rely on just that. friends, family, Matchmaker, get into some activities, and we'll kind of go over a little bit.
And I do just want to talk a little bit, because for seniors getting out there, and if they are delving into the online dating, and there are some mature singles sites and sites dedicated towards seniors, and I don't know what they all are, but you can find them.
Yes, well, Our Time. I love that. I mean, I think Our Time is great for senior citizens, because at that point in someone's life, they're looking for a real person. They're not playing games. They're out of their 20s and 30s. And, by the time you're in your 40s, you should kind of know what you want.
You know who you are. Or maybe not, because if you've been in a relationship, you might need a phase. But so for these folks that are going to online dating, especially seniors, because it is going to be so new to them, just be careful. Don't give out too much information. Get to know someone. And if you do get to a point where you're going to meet them, you don't ever meet them in your home.
No. And actually, I don't even like for my clients to go meet someone if they're doing online dating. They need to drive their own car. I don't have them come and pick them at their house. Now, if I'm setting someone up, it's a difference, because I've already vetted them. I've already checked them out. But yes, I totally agree. Be careful of the warning signs. Don't trust everyone just because you feel good about them, because that's the ones that could actually cause the most harm.
Absolutely. And I do want to talk about your services now that we've delved into online dating, because I am still scared with online dating, and I have friends and relatives that need to get out there, and they're playing a little bit, but I really want to kind of direct them more towards something like you, because it seems more credible and trustworthy, and you've done screening. And so let's talk about that.
Okay. Well, I always suggest to anyone that's coming out of a long-term relationship to try the online dating, just to get their feet wet on social skills, interacting with other people. Especially, just like you said, if someone's been married 40 years, they really don't know what to do about that. Or if they don't want even to mess with that, which a lot of senior citizens might not be that much into social media. Though I can tell you that my group of people I work with that are in their 70s, every one of them have the iPhone, and they're on Facebook, Twitter, you name it. So I shouldn't say that. That's the new wave of technology.
That's right.
But to come to us, we actually do a 2-hour interview with everyone that we meet. I am hands-on, one-on-one. I have a great team. I have Simi as our director of marketing and sales, and then I have Jen, who is our client relations. Julie does marketing. So we're all working together to bring someone the person that they're looking for. But I'm actually sitting down, getting to know their wants, their needs, their values, what they had before, what happened, the demise of their relationship, or what they're looking for in the future. So we do background checks. And then I also, it's more or less like hand holding. I'll take people to an event. I'm known as the wing woman. So when you say headhunter for the heart,
I see all your pictures. I'm like, she's got a better social life than anyone I know. But you're really connecting people.
I'm working. Yes, I connect people. I've always been connecting people. So yes. So if someone is nervous about going out and haven't been out, I'm right there with them, so they're not alone. Or one of our team members are with them, and we hold social events.
That's great.
It is. It's wonderful, and especially when you see someone get comfortable with themselves, we're teaching confidence. Confidence is what makes the other person attracted to you.
So do you go through like what to wear,
how to do your hair? I give a lot of tips. Just for an example, one of my clients that came last night, he's 66. He looks 50. He looks great, but had the bushy hair and outdated clothes. So we updated the style, some bright colors to show off his eyes, got his hair cut, actually did a little, what is that?
Eyebrow trimming. Yes. Good.
And then, so some basic, updates. And then, of course, I had him go get Crest white strips and his teeth with a little white. I think that the senior citizens kind of overlook that part, is whitening their teeth. I'm big about that. It's all in the smile. So make your smile look the best that it is.
It's true. It's how
people want to know you.
The smile is so attractive.
It is.
Yeah, and you've got to feel good about yourself to radiate that smile and really have it be real. So I bet you he left feeling real good about himself.
Yes, and he came in last night, and I mean he carried himself much better. It's like a bigger man. He was proud, and so yes, we really like that. But anyway, we actually will bring a couple of people to meet each other. So I'll screen them, and it may not be immediately 8 people they'll meet right at the beginning, or not one person they'll meet right at the beginning. It may take a month, it may take 3 months, or it may take that day. I mean, I've hit it out of the ballpark, home runs many a times, but it does take a little longer for certain people. And I tell everybody, if you've been single for 20 years, don't expect me to find you someone in 20 minutes.
Right.
You got to give it a little bit of work. Let me do the work. And I just know that we save everybody time, money, and effort. And the whole thing is, I love love. I love people being in love. It makes the world a better place. We're happier.
You're right.
So I'm doing my best to make that happen.
So let's talk about those folks that have been single for a while and have been out there in the dating world, because I have a few friends like that too.
Yes.
And, one of them will joke and she'll say, my picker's broken. And I'll say, well, it is.
She needs to come to a matchmaker. She needs to come to me.
And she's one of the
Yeah,
people I was
exactly.
trying to get to you.
Our open house that we had last night, there was over 100 people. It was awesome. Yes. We just moved buildings.
So how do you work with them? Because I imagine half of what you do is psychological with these folks to
It
get
is.
more intuitive about what they're doing. So how do you work with folks and help them help themselves?
Well, me being a matchmaker is more than just a matchmaker. I'm a relationship expert. And I'm also getting to know you personally to help you grow you, and to work with what you have. So what we do is, just like we did for the Robin Mead show yesterday on HLN, was I gave tips. If you're going to do online dating, come to our office. It's very, very nominal charge, and we will pre-screen your profile, give you tips on what to do.
Oh, even just writing your profile.
Yes. Oh, that's the key thing is to getting the right people to attract to that. It's reading between the lines and putting the keywords in about who you are that you want to get across, and then again on what pictures to post. That's a key thing. Words say different than what pictures say. If you're going to be flaunting it, it's going to make a little bit like, yeah, I'm easy, I'm ready. Whereas, and that's something I need to key in on too, is women and men are so different. The serial dater on the men, it could be a pickup. I consider online is almost like a pickup bar, and especially if you're a serial dater. But if you are looking for a committed relationship, then you're going to look for the one that you want to be with, not tons. So I will go through that and I will key on keywords. I will, pick out the keywords for you, and then also what pictures to post to bring out the best foot forward. And, we don't want to be too forward on the web, though we're a little comfortable because we're behind the screen. But when you're with me in person, I am walking you through every step. I'm telling you, like, little small touches, like where to, put your hand, place your hand. And, I'm very old school where the men should open the door and where, women say thank you, use your manners and things of that nature.
And that's so true, because the greater, I think, and I'm no expert, the greater love you build in the beginning,
Respect.
the easier it is. Respect. It isn't even love.
It's respect.
It's really respect. The greater, you're so right.
Yes.
The greater respect you build from the start, the greater love you'll be able to grow throughout the relationship.
Yes.
That's exactly
You know
right.
what my key 3 words, and I say this, and I live my life by it, whatever relationship you have, and whatever part of your life that you're in. Trust, honesty, and communication. Those are 3 must-haves for any relationship to grow. That can make a relationship last a lifetime. Trust, honesty, and communication. So first off, you got to be able to trust a person. You're coming out of not being in a relationship for, like we said, 40 years, 20 years, whatever it may be. You may either, 1, trust too easy, or
true.
not trust at all. Be wary, just like you said. It's really scary to get back out in the dating world. But trust and honesty are so different. You got to live your life by being truthful. You got to walk the walk, walk the talk. Be who you say you are. And communication. That can make or break a relationship so easy. You got to be able to communicate. And I'm not saying texting and email. That's X's in our business. You do not text to get a relationship going. You don't do a text. It's only as thank you. I can't wait to see you. You look beautiful. But let's talk about what happened last night. That does not happen. I'm more of you pick up the phone the old-fashioned way and say, hey, honey, how are you? Hey, honey, would you like to go out Friday night? So,
And that's respectful.
Yes.
I have so much I want to say about that, and we always run out of time. I've got a few more minutes left for this show, and then we'll come back after this break. But in terms of building love and respecting. And one of the things you said early on, if you know by the third date that this person is not, or you're going to know by the third date.
If you're interested, that you want to know more. And then you really need to get to know the friends and family. Don't go any further, because that will be key on who the person is.
That's true. You're really going to be able to assess someone based upon the circle they bring into their life and how they interact.
No friends, I would run.
Okay. Well, I do want to talk about, women and being true to themselves, because sometimes I think you want a relationship so much, even by that third date, you may know things and have red flags, but you ignore them because you have someone to go out with.
I've got lots to talk about.
There's so much more to talk about,
Yes.
and how we as women can help create the right kind of respectful, loving relationship, because we're terrible at that.
Exactly.
And also important, we want to get your contact information out, Dejuan. So how does someone reach you if they want to talk to you about their journey and how they can succeed in finding love?
And hopefully come in and meet me.
Absolutely.
Okay, it is heartbeatmatchmaker.com. So you can go to the web there. We're on Facebook. Go like our page. But our phone number is 404-536-1046. And again, I'm Dejuan Miller with Heartbeat Matchmaker, 404-536-1046.
And I love your tagline. She is the headhunter for the heart. Please stay with me, because we have so much more to talk about on tips, red flags, how to behave yourself, and we have so much more to talk about Dejuan's service, which is so important. So stay with me right now, and we'll be right back. Hello, I'm Jean Pete, and I welcome you back to our show, Better Living. Better Living is brought to you by the Homestead Hope Foundation and is sponsored by Homestead Hospice, where commitment to education and premier hospice care helps patients and families through life's most important journey. We're back with Dejuan Mathis Miller, Heartbeat Matchmaker, Headhunter for the Heart. Thanks for staying with us. We have so much more important information to talk to you about finding a loving and lasting relationship, and also about tips for dating in general. Dejuan, tell us again your information. It's Heartbeat Matchmaker, and where can they reach you?
Okay, on the web, they can go to our website. It's heartbeatmatchmaker.com. And then our phone number is 404-536-1046. We're on Facebook. Go like our page. You'll always know about events that we have coming up. But we're actually located in the building City View in Atlanta, and that is 3330 Cumberland Boulevard, Suite 500, Atlanta, Georgia, 30339.
And we were talking during the break about my first interaction with Dejuan, and I just happened to, I think I was maybe 2 weeks out of a divorce and scared to death. For those of you listening and thinking, nope, I'm done. I was going to go hibernate, and I didn't know how to enter into the world. Online dating was not for me. I like to be in control. And we were talking, and she said, Jeannie, I'll see you in about a year because you need to get out there. And that was the last thing I wanted to hear, because I did not want to date. I only knew how to be a wife. I was scared to death of online dating. I didn't trust men at all. I didn't think I'd ever find anybody worthy, and I just wanted Dejuan to fix my whole life for me. So I hated your advice at the time. But now that I've gone through the journey, I love your intelligence about that journey and the phases that you really do need to go through.
Well, you needed to fall back in love with you.
You're right.
That was the key. You really needed to bring the focus back to you before you could be in a committed, loving relationship with someone else.
You're right. And when a relationship doesn't work out, and we're not going to bash exes or anything like that, but there are reasons a relationship doesn't work out. And normally when it doesn't work, I know for my situation, there was a lot that I thought was wrong with me. And so you're right. You do have to get out there. I identified myself for almost 20 years, this person's wife, and these people's mother. And who the heck was Jeannie? I didn't know.
And that's what you had to go learn. You had to go get to know.
You're right. So how do you help folks find out who they are and get to the point where they can actually succeed in finding that love?
Right. Well, we have a lot of things that we teach class. We teach a lot of different classes. One is it's all in the smile. And again, it's not just making your teeth whiter. It's about being approachable. A smile makes you approachable, makes you attractive. People want to get to know you. If you're going to be against the wall and timid and no smile, you're putting a wall up in between you and the other person. Well, you have to break that down. Two is we teach classes on how to date. You know, so many people don't know how to date. They're so uncomfortable. We make you as comfortable and as at ease meeting the person for the first time, which is usually pretty awkward. You know, when you go and you're not sure who you're meeting. So I always have things that you have to talk to them on the phone at least twice before you go on the date. Whether it's, you know, getting to know the person on the first phone call and then calling the day of the date. You know, say, I can't wait to meet you tonight. Just want to make sure we're on schedule. Even though the thing about it, everybody was always in such a hurry that they don't take out for the little things that can make it a big thing. So we teach that. And then we have classes to go from dating to marriage and then how to work that body, you know, to get your body in shape and fit. And no matter what age you are, exercise should be a part of your day-to-day regimen, no matter what. Whether it's walking, lifting 2-pound weights, 20-pound weights, whatever it may be, that also gives you energy. And energy makes you want to do more. So getting you out into the social setting.
And confidence. And,
yes.
and you know,
well,
even if you don't need to lose a lot of weight, but you want to be toned,
right.
Whatever it is that's going to make you feel better about yourself. I mean, I lost a ton of weight. It was the year before the divorce. I started to focus on myself for strength to actually make the divorce happen. But if I didn't, I'm not sure I would have gotten back out into the world. I felt better. I felt worthy. I felt like I have this brand new product to bring to market.
Exactly. But I don't want people to be so worried about the weight. Okay. Yes, if you're really overweight, that's a health issue. You know, you want to lose weight for that. But you don't have to be a size 2, a size 4, a size 8 to be able to date and be attractive. You know, you can be attractive, whatever body that you have, let's just make it attractive for you.
Right.
To the other people want to get to know you.
And I guess that's what I mean, because I'm not a size 2 or a size 4, and I actually like having some
But you look gorgeous.
curves. Thank you. But it's a inner feeling.
Confidence.
It's an inner confidence, and it's a fact that when you buy new clothes that you feel like you look good in, you want to go out and conquer the world. So
Yes.
if you're at all self-conscious, it's not about doing this so that other people will like you. It's about doing this so that you will like you and you won't have all the issues that come with the self-confidence issue.
Exactly. All right, I'm going to go kind of a little bit back before we went to the break, and this all ties in together, especially what you just said, is teaching women and men for that too. It works both ways, but the majority is women. Is how do we know if it's the one and if we're doing the right thing for the right one? You know, and that is expressing yourself to the person that you are falling for. I tell women, do not physically be involved until you know you're in a committed relationship. You can do it, but prior to that, I definitely say no sex on the first date, because the man is not going to get to know you emotionally. And too many of my men have backed my story on this. I know it to be factual. They want intelligence as much as we do, but women want to show that we care about a man by giving ourselves. So don't give yourselves too early. You know, let them get to know you emotionally, because once that comes to fruition and once that is a bond, then the physical part is just going to be all that much more
We
better.
need to talk about this. We really do, because this is the biggest fear, you know, and I have so many single women and they're going through this right now, and I went through it, and you know, that was part of why I didn't want to go out and date again. I don't have it in me
To sleep
give
around.
myself physically to many men. I didn't know how to do that. And so, and I see friends too, but the conversations that is all out in there in that circle is, but we know with online dating and
It's too easy.
everybody else is giving it. So how do I give myself a chance to get to that next level if I'm not?
But you're not everybody. Everybody needs to remember that. We are not the same person. You need to be respectful of yourself. Key thing, again, is respect. If you really want a lifetime relationship, keep the focus. Yes, you may be so attracted to this person that you can't wait to be with them. Don't do it. That's just like, you're on a diet and you can't go eat, 5,000 calories. You're not going to lose weight. So the thing about it is, if you want that relationship, invest in it. Get to know the person mentally, emotionally, before it becomes physically. All three of those, you've got to have it. I mean, I'm saying you definitely have to have the physical part as well.
Absolutely.
I'm not, discounting that whatsoever, because you need it to have a relationship. But giving too much of yourself too soon could make or break it. Men do not respect you as much because they're thinking, especially if you've met online dating, is, you're that quick with them, you're probably even quicker with the person before him.
And I was just going to say, now let's flip it, because we've talked a lot on the female perspective. If you're a man and you meet someone that you say, hey, there's something
They're not going to turn it down.
They're not going to turn it
turn
down.
Yes.
But for them too, because we're telling the women, for yourself, hold back a little bit.
Right.
But for the men too, what I'm hearing you say is, we know you function differently than us, but really for yourself, you're doing yourself a favor too by getting to know the female on a spiritual, emotional, and intellectual level before you go there as well.
Yes, the emotional bond is what we need to carry us through life. The older we get, we're not as active. So the emotional bond of communication, of being able to talk to that person, at the end of the day is what's going to hold it together. The physical part, that may slow down. Though, like I said, with the way the world is going now, I don't think any of us are ever going to slow down, which is a good thing. But on the men, on the men that come to me to hire me as a matchmaker, quite a few of them have tried online dating. And they, I've heard it that women are too easy. They're too quick to jump in the bed because they think that's going to lead to marriage quicker. See, it's like some women want to put the cart before the horse.
They're trying to bait the hook. Yes. They're trying to reel it in.
They want to get married right away. They want to get remarried or be in a relationship right away, whether it's wrong or right. They need to take a step back, invest in their time, use their time wisely, and get to know the person emotionally before you become physically. If the men tell me they respect the woman that doesn't sleep with them right away, they actually, even if they're 40 years old, I have a ton of clients. The majority of my clients are 32 to 52, but I've got younger. I've got 21 to 81. So, but the bulk is that age group, and the 40-year-olds, majority of them have been married or they've been in relationships, committed relationships, and coming out of that, they say it's not the physical part. Anybody can have the physical part any day of the week. We can go out and
any day of the week
and have a fling.
Very easy.
Any day.
Mm-hmm.
But having that physical connection with the right one is what we all want. That's the relationship.
Absolutely. So now let's talk about getting past those first few dates and into a committed relationship, because something you said very early on, you're going to know by date 3. So if you know by date 3, this is someone you want to be in a committed relationship with, whether you're the male or the female, but you're not sure that they're there, what do you do?
Well, we're kind of going across two different things here. As a matchmaker, if you've come to me and you've hired me, by the date 3, they're on the same playing field as you are. Because I'm not going to set you up with someone.
And again, that's why
you're paying for my services.
You go to Dejuan and you don't sit on online dating for 3, 5, 8 years.
I mean, it's saving you time, money, and effort. And effort's the key thing. But like I said, time is our biggest commodity. So people that have hired me as a matchmaker, relationship expert, to guide them into their next journey for their committed relationship, their happy ever after, they're going to invest in their money.
They're serious about it.
Yes. So if they are going out with someone, they're going to know by the 3rd date, this is someone I want to know more about. They'll call me and say, I want to get to know him. I want to get to know her. I want to see where this goes. They only date that person until they say, no, it didn't work, before I set them back up with someone else. So they don't meet. They're not dating 3 or 4 people through me. It's one at a time.
I can so see
how
that
They have to eliminate that.
So that's so important, and I can see why you would be more successful in finding your loving, lasting relationship when you're going to you. Let's talk a little bit about cost. How does that work?
Well, we have a wide variety of packages, and my fee, I have a structured fees, but we actually kind of halfway tailor it to the person that comes. And it could be that I might know right off the top of my head immediately, like you would have come in and said, oh my gosh, Jeannie, I've got the perfect guy. Steve would be it. Let me set this up. It wouldn't be as much. But it's a general
Right, 'cause
fee
you're going to
structure for
know the
everybody.
work that's needed after you interview them.
And then I have a lot of people that are, I don't want to say drama queens or kings, because I'm very selective on who I take. So when you're looking for your significant other, I'm looking for the client that I want to work with. And you have to be open to, have an open mind, open to love, and you have to listen to me. You know, I have very strict rules and guidelines, and of course people, they're paying for this service, so they're going to listen to me. But if someone can't really want to invest right away, the fee for hiring me as a strictly matchmaker, we have a database product, which is much cheaper, that they know that they're going to come and they're going to meet quality people at our events. We host events generally once a month and a large event quarterly. So that's a great way for the public to come out. But again,
is it just like an admission fee?
Yes, it's an admission fee. But when the public comes out, you have to remember, now I haven't vetted everybody in Atlanta,
Right.
so you're taking a chance on that. But you're more than welcome to always come and ask me or one of our team members, and we'll give you your feedback. But hiring me is definitely worth the value. So it can go anywhere from $2,500 to $7,500.
I see. Okay. But it is true. You know, we invest in cars and homes and
Your hair,
work and
your
career
clothing,
and
your body.
This is the rest of your life, and to find a truly healthy, respectful, loving relationship. And I know people have been out there for 3, 5, 8 years. I'm sure they've spent that much money.
More than that. It's 6 months online dating has paid for me because of all the time that you've spent, again, the clothes, the dinners, and this is for men too as well. You know, if they take you out, they pick you up, they pay for the dinners, they pay for dancing, whatever it is that you may be doing, whatever activity, there is a cost associated. Now, we do have some activities that don't really cost anything, but if you're dating someone for 6 months, you're investing that money in with that person, and that possibly is not the right person. So why not invest it in me to get you the right person?
Not to mention the weekend away with the girls or the boys after your heart is broken.
Exactly. Well, who wants their heart broke? I would pay $1 million not to have my heart broke.
That's true. So let's talk about some upcoming events for those folks that are here in Atlanta, because I'm going to ship about 6 of them to you.
Awesome. Well, like I said, quarterly we're going to do an after-hours wine and cheese event at our office, which I said was
that's
suited you.
wonderful.
And that's very easy to find on our website. And again, Facebook is really a great tool for us to use for marketing. We have a seminar, which would be great for anyone, whether you're married, single, divorced. It is about relationships, and it's from styling, we'll have a personal trainer there, we'll have a psychologist, we'll have a sex talk therapist, and of course me, the relationship expert, and we will go over some key things to make your relationship better with the one that you're already in with.
That's so important.
Or one that you want to find.
And, you know, I see so many women, and I don't know if these men would have been good pairs for them, but trust is an issue in a lot of women's minds and hearts. And so they meet someone, I don't know, you tell me if this is typical. They meet someone, they like them, they get into that phase where they are dating, maybe they've gotten into a committed relationship. Well, they would have, but you don't see them every
They're
day.
settling.
You live separately, and trust, and they get in their own head and they sabotage what maybe could have been a good relationship because
There's a
they
lack of
just
trust.
don't trust the man. And on the flip side, men really need to get a clue that a lot of women worry about that. You know, we read articles, we live experiences, we hear about it all the time, the difference between men and women and how you work. And if you're a man and you truly want a relationship with the woman that you're dating, you really have to go to the ends of the earth to build that trust.
You have to communicate that to the woman. You have to physically talk to her, be honest, truthful, and actions follow that. You know, your actions are a man can sweet talk a woman
all day long.
Yes, but his actions will prove that he's actually a good guy. But back to, again, women on trusting, the trust issues, and it falls back for men too. You know, look at the men that have been in a married
that's
relationship
true.
for many, many years, and the woman's either left him. It works both ways. The men might leave a woman for a younger woman. The women might leave the man for a younger man. So trust has a whole lot to do it. But again, it goes back to serial dating. And where are you getting serial dating? You're getting that from online, or in the
Or the bars and
old
places you're
the
going
bars,
out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pickup bars. So
there's a reason they're there.
yes, be careful where you go.
I mean, you
Make
can
your
meet good
activity somewhere
people,
else.
but
Yes, because
it's the
you and
diamond
I
in the
have been
rough.
to a bar before, yes. But again, it's picking that needle out of the haystack. You go to a bar, you have to pick that needle out of the haystack. And it's not that you're going to find someone good every night. You have to just be selective. Your activities that you choose and the people that you want to run around with, be careful where you go to do that.
So let's talk about where people can go.
Okay.
To fun activities, good activities, to meet the right kind of person.
Well, social media has been phenomenal, and the web. Thank God for that, because all you got to do is just type in Google what you want to look for. There is a group, we'll key on for senior citizens for a moment, but there's a wonderful group in Marietta at the Square that walks every Wednesday night, and their age group is from 50 to 80. And I'm telling you, the senior citizens can outwork out more than I ever thought I could. They do maybe 3 to 4 miles almost every day.
And what a great way to make yourself feel better by losing weight and toning, because you're involved in an activity.
Well, you get those good feelings, you get those good vibes or whatever. So that's one. But another thing I always tell everybody, because caring, we all should be caring about each other as human beings. Go volunteer.
Absolutely.
That's the best place to do it. Whether it's Mutz Ministries, Cobb County, I love them. Cherokee County as well. We do a lot with them. And then Atlanta Food Bank, the Shepherd's House.
Or Homestead Hospice.
Yes. There's so many. Children Without a Voice. There is so many. Get involved with a group. And don't just be committed to just one group. Yes, one group wants you there all the time. But spread the love. I mean, we spread the love in our hearts, so spread the love for another human being, whether it's going to be your significant another. You're going to meet other good quality people that care about people there.
And we just did a whole show on volunteering, so it's funny that you said that. I'm such a proponent. And the nice thing about choosing the volunteer organization that's right for you, because you're passionate about whatever it is you're volunteering about, you're giving up your time and you're not getting paid.
Right.
You're going to meet people that have like minds, like hearts, like spirits.
Yes.
Which is going to make you even that much more
You're
successful.
Getting closer to the person that you want to be with.
Right.
That's the key right here. And there are a few, there's groups here in Atlanta. There's so many different diversity of groups, but diversified groups. And some of them are out there for the wrong reasons. So again, it's all walks of life. There's not always, there's great teachers, not so many good teachers. Mm-hmm. There's great doctors, not so many good doctors. There's good people, not so many good people. So keyword is, be on your toes about whoever you meet. But volunteering, I think, for the majority part, you're always going to get a good person. You're always going to meet a good person.
And back to activities, don't forget, Dejuan is holding open meetings, get-togethers, socials at her office, after hours, wine and cheese.
Wine and cheese.
Once a month. Yeah. And then larger meetings quarterly.
Yes. Well, we also hold speed datings, which you can go to our website and see. But our seminar is March the 2nd, so we can give you details for that as well. We have training classes once a month, every month, and this month it's Work That Body. So we'll have a personal trainer come in and give you just 10 minutes worth of tips of toning, of getting your energy built. And it's not just about losing weight, it's to give you energy to want to do more, to enjoy the life that you have. And then we have fun activities from rock climbing, wine tastings, to bowling.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Bowling's fun. I think bowling gets a bad rap. Well, bowling is very social and very fun.
I know, because, we remember this when we were in high school and in college years or whatever. But actually, one of my heart doctors that's a client of mine, he said he had not been bowling in 30 years. One of the best times he had. It was so relaxed. We did a wine tasting and everybody said, hey, let's go bowling afterwards.
And whether you're an athlete or not, it really doesn't matter. No. Anybody can bowl.
Exactly.
And it's
But there's a lot of different things. We go to ball games, museums, art showings. I love my art showings.
So you really need to reach out to Dejuan. I would feel like I helped spread the love. If I heard a story of someone that went to her, tell her, hey, I heard you on Jeannie Pete's Better Living. It's actually not my show. It's Homestead Hope Organization's show. But
we feel like
at any rate, it's Heartbeat Matchmaker. Dejuan is the headhunter for the heart. She's going to give you a personal interview. She does take very good, close care of all of her clients. And her phone number is 404-536-1046. There's so much more to talk about, Dejuan, but really the long and short of it is respect yourself enough to go to the right places, go to the right people, invest in yourself and in your future, and really do the right things. You know, I will tell one story. I said I wasn't going to talk about me, but I met my current boyfriend, and we're very serious. And after the third date, I had said, you know, I really, really like you.
I'm so glad.
It
I'm
hurts.
so proud of you. Yeah.
It hurts to have you dating other people. And so if that's where you need to be, it's okay. I understand you've been honest with me, but I can't continue because I'd rather hurt now than continue to hurt because I don't have it in me to share you. And that was the hardest conversation to have because I was really basically risking losing someone that I thought I could feel very strongly for. But it was probably the best thing I ever did because it set the stage for where we both were. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but it's part of respecting yourself.
Exactly. It's great that you owned up to it and this is what you want. We should not be afraid to say what we want.
Not as an ultimatum, but as a true speaking from the heart.
About what you want. One last thing I wanted to say, and our thing that we live by is, I tell everybody, many things will catch your eye, but few will catch your heart. Pursue those.
Awesome. Dejuan, thanks so much for
Jeannie,
coming.
for having me.
I'm Jeannie Pete. Thanks for listening. Have a blessed day and week ahead. And listen here, same time next week and every week. Homestead Hope Foundation is your resource for a healthy life. God bless.